Hi, everyone. Diana Rankin here. And you can see who's right here beside me. Now's beside me. She was kind of behind me there. Anyway, welcome. Glad to see all of you. Thank you for those of you who can make it live. It's always good to have you here holding the energy. And thank you for those of you who can't come live for your comments as well. Just put them in the comment section below. Well, today we're going to talk about the difference between religion and spirituality. And some of you might already know this. Some of you might learn something new. So we'll see. We'll also get a message from Phillip, my spirit guide from one of my books. And as you know, this is just a book we open to, and it's an oracle book. And so we'll get our message for the week in just a moment here. It turned cold where I am, obviously. I walked down the lane a few minutes ago to get the mail, and I was doing this, and I thought, oh, why didn't I wear gloves? So I pulled my cuffs down, and I thought, I need earmuffs on. A couple of days ago, it was 79 degrees 2 days ago. And in a couple of days, again, it's going to be back in the 70s. So we are just having some real crazy weather here where I am in central Ohio. So who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, let's get busy here with Philip's answer. Again, Philip is my spirit guide, and what he has to say about the questions that one of you wrote in. And if you do have questions, just put it in the comments below, or if you wish, you can send me an email. You can even call me. My numbers are all on my website, and the email and the website are right below here. So if you have private questions about your life, we will set up a session time for you. But if they're of general nature to all of our listeners, we will certainly address those. So thank you. And for those of you who are asking about the election, take a look at the video for November's predictions, and that'll talk to you about it. Hello, Sandra. She says, hello, everyone. In Germany, the weather is gray but mild. Well, we're having sun but cold. And Sheila from Amsterdam says, hello, everyone. So good to see you two today. Okay, here we go. Here are the questions. Is there a difference between religion and spirituality? If so, what is the difference? Can we be both spiritual and religious, or do we have to choose? Here's what Phillip tells us. The answer to your first question is yes and no. The first question being, is there a difference between the two? Spirituality is a seeking of connection to the higher self and the all. Religion can include the inner journey for spirit as well, but religion requires the worship of a God and often a superhuman, such as Jesus or in Christianity. I found that superhuman an interesting word. Wouldn't have thought of that in context in the same sentence as the word Jesus. So I hope no one takes offense to that, but that's what Phillip tells us it is. Spirituality is an individual's choice and often practiced privately. Religion follows the doctrine of the religion and is often practiced in groups. Spirituality is practiced without rules of a religion. Both, however, follow rules. Spirituality is more self-guided, whereas religion is more leader-guided. I will tell you, I consider myself spiritual, but I'm not a religious person, and I don't follow any religion. I was raised as a child in the Christian religion, and I was kicked out of Sunday school when I was 5 years old because I asked too many questions. And so they sent me upstairs to be with my grandmother's Sunday school because she could keep me from asking so many questions. Okay, let's go on to what Phillip has to say. Spirituality may incorporate information from one or more religions or no religion. Spirituality requires a moral self-compass. I want to stop. Well, let me read the next paragraph. Religion is the practice of adhering to the rules of that specific religion as interpreted by the group's leader. The moral compass is set by the religious tenets and the leaders. Years ago, when I lived in California, a woman I knew really kept after me to go to her church. And it was non-denominational. So she said it really wasn't Christian. And I said, yes, it is. And I don't go to church. I don't follow the Christian religion and haven't for years since I was a girl. And she just said, well, just go with me. So I finally ended up going to church with her. We walked out and she said, well, what'd you think? I said, it's a Christian church. Some of the rituals and the rites are wonderful. I love them, but it's not for me. And she said, you really think it's that Christian? I said, yes, just because it's not Methodist or Presbyterian or Baptist, etc. So we sat down at lunch and she said, okay, you did what I asked, but what is it you believe? And I started telling her about what I believed. I believe in a God of love. I believe in the energy is everything. And so love is all there is if we adhere to that. I believe we're all connected to this love energy, and that's what I call God, not some being of a him, H-I-M, sitting up on a hilltop. And she looked at me and she said, but who's your moral compass? You know, that shocked me at that time. It really did, because I looked and I thought, I never thought of it before, that religion gives you a moral compass. If you're spiritual and not religious, you need to have that moral compass. And I think most people who really delve deep into the spirituality do have their moral compass. They don't need the church leader or the synagogue leader. Not that there's anything like that by any means. No. But that isn't needed because their own moral compass is there. And I'm talking about people who are spiritual, not just people who believe in nothing. You can be an agnostic, you can be an atheist and still be spiritual. But I'm not talking about the person who has no moral compass. I'm talking about the person who has their own. Is that a little bit harder? I don't think so. But then who am I to say? Let's go on to see what Phillip has to say. Both spirituality and religion seek a deeper meaning for life. Those who are drawn to spirituality tend to look within for guidance with a deep belief in the power of love. Religions may be led by either fear or love. The fear of God or hell is used as a control. When one practices love, control is much more difficult. You can be spiritual and also be part of a religious community. You can be spiritual and not practice any religion or believe in any religious God. Often people grew up in a religion that continues to be their community. Those who must strike out on their own find self-study provides a deep connection to spirit God. Religion is often a starting point for spirituality. For both, the practice of a love-based life are important. Unfortunately, religion of some natures may not provide this, whereas the person seeking a deeper relationship with spirit, God, will find that practice of love. Without the practice of love-based feelings and acts, spirituality is non-existent. Spirituality is the seeking of a wisdom to live a more loving and kind life, whether sought alone or within a religion. So bottom line, what Phillip is saying here is, yes, you can be both. You can be religious, you can be spiritual, but spirituality doesn't mean you practice a religion. You can be practicing a religion and also be spiritual. You can be practicing a religion and not be spiritual. You can be spiritual and not be practicing any religion, but you must practice love. In order to be spiritual, that's the number one requirement. You must practice love, whether part of a religion or not. Love is the answer. Well, hello, Juliet. She says, hello, everyone. So good to see you live. And Sheila says, perfect explanation and comparison. Thank you, Sheila. I appreciate hearing that, because sometimes Philip tends to get a little esoteric, and it's not always easy to understand him, but I think he did pretty good this time. And Sheila says, Ohio, yes, I am in Ohio, where it's cold today and 79 degrees 2 days ago, and going to be 70 in a few days, but going to be cold for a few days. So yes, Sheila. We also are going to get our message for this week from this book by Phillip. So we're going to, there we go. I'm hearing right. If you heard right, our intuition's in sync. And that's the message for all of us. If you heard left, listen closely, because that's a message for you. Right is page 239. I love it. Are we not all masters? Are we not all masters? Well, I like to think of us as masters in training. And rather than masters, I don't think of myself as a master. I think of us as masters in training. And yes, I think if we are able, whether involved in a religion or not, if we are able to go into that deeper self and find the truth of our spirit, the truth of who we are spirit acting as human beings. We're the pure energy of love. That's all we have to be. Does that mean we never get angry? That we never get upset? Of course not. But then we bring it back to love. Do we hold others accountable? Of course. But then we bring it back to love. In one of my blogs that I just put out on Facebook, it talks about, and I think we did the YouTube video too, but we talk about the different phases of the soul. We talk about new souls, middle souls, old souls, young old souls, older old souls. And at the very last paragraph, I think it says everything. It says we don't have to accept the human, and I'm not saying it as eloquently as in the writing, but we don't have to accept the human divisions or the humanness, but we do have to love. We hold the human accountable, but we have to love the spirit, because that's what we all are. Whether it's someone we dislike or someone we think is horrible, we have to love the spirit, because that's what God is. God is love. If you heard left, that's page 238. And here's a message for you. The greatest adventure of all is within you. The greatest adventure of all is within you. So, my spiritual friends, I think what Phillip is telling us is, maybe we're masters because we are spiritual, because we do practice love. I guess I'm not ready to accept that for myself, but I'll accept it for all of you. How's that? I love you all. I'm so grateful that you are here to hold the energy for me. I'm going to talk next week. I probably won't have time today or over the weekend, but I'm going to talk about a moments of joy where I talked to a woman, and I had two moments of joy. It's a story within a story about how we talked about make your God bigger. So today I want to say, make your God love. Enjoy your life. Make your God love. And you can see the greatest love right behind me, who's sleeping. Thank you, my friends, for being with me today. And Sandra says, love, it's the answer. Amen. Amen. Aho. I love you all. Thank you. Go love yourselves. That's where it starts.